stampede, went in toward paddock and up towards it.
Well, hello everybody, it's Supping Andy here. Been quite a dry old day here in Suffolk. It rained yet, makes a bloody change. But anyway, I'm going to go on to a subject now that I touched on my last vlog when I went on the rerun of the Cobb Dock bike run for charity. And it's not a response, but it's to a vlog that I listened to from Dalboy, and he was stating that last year, or this year, I think it was last year, that the increase in people driving on the road had increased by 12%. Well, 12% was the biggest yearly increase in 30 years. Now, there might be loads of different reasons why so many people are taking up driving. It could be that the youngsters are coming through. It could even be a lot of our European cousins coming over here and taking up driving. I don't know, but it was 12%, and that's quite a lump, and the biggest lump in 30 years. So you can imagine, if this state of affairs kept occurring, we'll soon be at gridlock. And the other question that he actually put forward was, is it getting too dangerous to ride a motorbike with all these cars increasing year after year? Now you've got to remember, we make up 1% of the drivers on the road. 1%, that's all we are on bikes. But when it comes to fatalities, we're 20%. So that's staggering, absolute staggering. Now, there's a risk factor in it, and we all know what the risks are. We're not all stupid, and we know how so bad some of these drivers are. But if you put it into context, if you was in a situation where they said 1% of you lot over there, 20% of you're going to die, like a war zone or something like that, you'd be quite staggered and think, is it worth my while doing this? Because it could have a bad outcome. So if you can see where I'm trying to get at with that little suggestion, get this down in the gear, starting to chug. So have you ever thought of that? Oh, I've got to get past this fucking person. That's better. Slugsville. Yeah, so 1%, 20% fatalities, which is massive. Now, and I said in the last vlog as well, you can't stop people driving. It's their right. You know, we all had that right, so they shouldn't be denied that right. But as the roads are not being expanded, or they're getting bigger, and the population is booming in Britain, it's only going to put more pressure on the road system. So surely there must come a point where even our ignoramus fucking shit-tard government will have to step in and say, look, enough's enough. Which wouldn't be right really, but you know, when the roads get absolutely clogged, what are we going to do? They don't want you to ride bikes, that's pretty obvious, with all the restrictions they're putting in. So that's out of the question. They don't want people on bikes, they, you know, just don't want it. Now, what could you bring in to deter people from driving, and why should they be deterred? They've got a right. Do you think car sharing, which they've talked about for years, but I'm never actually seeing, you know, most of them happen? If you look at most of the cars going past me here today, it's all single drivers, all single people in cars. You know, nobody's sharing. You know, coming from, say, Shotley. Oh, I'm going to Shotley for 2 hours, Mr. Brown. Would you like to come in my car if you're going in? It's not going to happen. Now, again, in my last vlog, I actually said, do you think it's time that car drivers, when they pass their test, are restricted to what car they drive? because they can go out. If they've got the money for the insurance, Daddy's rich enough, they can ride whatever they like. If Daddy's got a Ferrari and he can insure it for them, they can drive it. But they can't drive a bike. They have to go through all these different categories to get onto a big bike. Would not insurance alone be enough to stop people taking up big cars? Or do you think they should be restricted? Now, I said 1200cc. Now, Pez came back and said it should be restricted to horsepower, lower horsepower, because a lot of 1200cc cars go like fucking shit. You know, they're pretty quick. So it should be a limited horsepower of a car that they're allowed to drive when they pass the test. And I don't just mean the 17-year-olds, I mean anybody, maybe a year. What do you think about the P plates? Now, I always thought they were quite a good idea. They're not trendy to put on the back of your car. Hey, I've just passed my test, look, you know. People don't like them because that makes them look like they've just passed the test, you know. But maybe that should be made compulsory, that everybody who passed their test should have a P plate on the back of their car and restricted, you know, to certain speeds. I don't know. I'm just chucking these out for you boys and girls. The other thing is, would you be happy for letting your insurance company put a tracker on your car so they know exactly where you are, where you've been and what speed you're doing? And there's been a lot of adverts on Tully at the moment, and there's one I particularly just gets to me, and that's what I think it's one from Aviva, where that fucking knob stands there like a bloody great big hairy biker, and he's talking about this tracker and how much money he can save. And then his wife goes out on a Harley and he goes, oh, you wouldn't catch me on one of those things. Do you know, I'd love to punch his fucking face in. He is such a fucking knob, that advert. Oh, don't rant. I'm not ranting, not ranting, not ranting, not ranting. Yeah, I hate that advert. So, would you be prepared to have a tracker put on your bike or your car? I know a lot of the youngsters do to keep their insurance down, which maybe is not a bad idea. Maybe that would help to keep some of the accidents down and different things. Even on motorbikes, you know, you're a 17-year-old, if you were allowed to have a 600, you could have a tracker put on it to monitor it all the time for your insurance. That might save you going freaking nuts and dispatching yourself. I don't know. And so I'm only putting these out for what do you think. And when it comes to the driving test, have you ever thought about an idiot test? Because any idiot can drive a car. Any idiot can drive a motorbike, I suppose. But any idiot can drive a car. Do you think they should be, part of the test should be a test where common sense comes into it? Where they see if you've got any bloody stuff up there. You know, you're not just a bungalow. Nothing up top. I know you've got to do your theory test, but you know, common sense test. So you think they should be an idiot test put into there? You know, no idiot should be in their car. Oh God, where am I going with this? I don't know. It's all up in the air, you know. I don't know where we're going. I really don't. It's crazy. The roads are going to get more and more clogged. So what do you think? Do you think the government should encourage more people to take up biking to relieve the congestion on the roads? Do you think they should make the car test even harder and put an idiot test in as well? Do you think that a lot of the foreigners who are flooding into Britain at the moment have got enough knowledge of the English roads? They're certainly different. I've driven in France, you know, all over Europe. And it is different, there's no doubt about it. Different side, different signs. And I actually done a test, and I've been to France so many times, it's unbelievable. In a car and a bike. And I done a French sign test the other day online, and I failed. And I've been driving over there for years. So it just tells you that things are so much different. So you think they should, if they come, you know, emigrate into this country, they've got a license from Czechoslovakia or Poland or Lithuania or Azerbaijan shit pit place, do you think they should then, instead of just showing their license and driving, should be made to take an English driving test? Anyway, lots and lots of stuff to think of. I've been talking since the Orwell Bridge and I'm nearly at Shotley. I don't know. Yes, he's here. Get myself a nice cup of coffee. To stir. And then down to Manningtree. And you all know where that is over there, Shotley and Harwich. So, I think that's enough for me today. Give me your replies on some of the stuff I've said and see what you think. Anyway, all road safe. Love each other. Suffolk Andy.